Okay, so welcome to the Powerful Komiksman podcast. Um, we're not live now, so this is a recorded episode. I think this is the third recorded episode, if I am counting correctly. The first one was with Vera Chimera, a cosplayer from Australia. Yeah, yeah. The other one is with Ronnie Santiago. And this is the third official recorded episode for the Powerful Comics Man podcast. Episode number 74. So please do like and share this podcast. If you're new to the show, this is a podcast, like as the name states, and Pinoy podcasting is on the rise. It's really exciting that a lot of local podcasts are coming up. Some are going really strong, and although a lot of them, alam mo yun, parang a lot of people are trying it because podcasting is the future. They've been saying that for at least for almost 10 years now, probably, and it's only now that it is picking up its pace here in the Philippines. But mark my words, podcasting, audio is king, and sooner or later it's gonna happen here in our country as well. So get on board, okay? Don't be a bandwagoner. Check out a local podcast. I'm sure there will be something that would suit you, that you would find interesting, because podcasting could be about anything. It could be serious, it could be funny, it could be anything, any kind of topic. I'm sure there's a podcast that you're gonna like. And while you're here, check out this podcast as well. Like I said, this is the 74th episode, so there are 73 other episodes with fantastic guests. Um, Basta, I made this podcast for Filipinos by featuring Filipinos that could blow your mind, and well, or in their own different ways, because well, I've featured some really amazing um people here on the show, and I also feature musicians. As you can see, there's the Jamcast logo right below my video, my box, right there. And on Jamcast episodes, it's also here in this channel. If you're new, Jamcast episodes feature musicians. So aside from the regular talks, they get to play as well, and they play live. Okay, so sometimes they would you could see the rawness of the performance, and it's just amazing. And sometimes they would play um very recently written songs that aren't polished at all. They're just gonna give it a go here in the show, and it's just amazing watching these musicians polish their craft. And later on, who knows, they might be playing future classics here in its rawest state. And that's gonna be exciting in the future, since this podcast is relatively new. And also this podcast is brought to you by Miyucha Lux Cakes. There you can see it right beside the Jamcast logo. Miyucha Lux Cakes at hello.miucha in Instagram. That's at HELLO dot MIUCCIA for those who are just listening in audio, uh, because this podcast is also uploaded later on in on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Maybe I'd have it available in other servers as well. Servers. Anyway, check out Mutual Lux Cakes. There's also a Facebook page for that, and those are amazing. Check out the other episodes, the past episodes. You will Most of the episodes you will get to see the guests taste their first mucha whatever cookies, crinkles, donuts, everything, cakes, and you just they just could not fake the genuineness of their surprise, and basta they're mind blown on how amazing this mucha lux cakes pastries are. Basta just check it out, okay? And check out the mucha lux cakes on Instagram. And also this show is brought to you by XSplit. Not really brought to you by, but since I'm just I have I have an affiliate link for XSplit. That is the program that I use in creating this podcast. But since there are people who ask me how I produce the show that you're seeing right now, yeah, this is the sorcery behind it. Okay, so if you're contemplating on creating a podcast of your own, if you ask me, I say do it, do it. Check out XSplit. If you can download that, then you have the power to do this. Okay, so podcasting, Pinoy podcasting, support it. If you know any podcasters, or if you're a podcaster, hit me up. Let's collab. I can guest on your podcast, or yeah, you can. I can also guest you. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's support each other. And what else? Again, please like, share, and comment what you think about the show. About if you have questions to James, I'm sure he's gonna check out the comments. So just write or visit him yourself in his Facebook page, which is far greater than mine. Okay, so this show will be available on YouTube as well. I'm gonna post it as a premiere, but okay. So let's switch to let's switch to another camera. Okay, so when I recorded the episode, I was supposed to invite James here in the studio so that we could do a proper live episode here in well, the typical episodes that I do. And unfortunately, it didn't happen because there were time constraints on his schedule. Understandably, because he was with his family in the Philippines for a limited amount of time only, and you could just imagine how busy his schedule was. And but I saw that he would be in Mega Mall for a signing for a fan meetup, and I went. I just couldn't pass the opportunity to talk to him since I've been looking up to him as a YouTube creator because he's also well. I also tried venturing into make creating drawing videos. Actually, that was the first that was the first plan when I started, but the editing part was just too tedious for me, and let's see. I still do drawing companions every now and then, but most of the time I just do jamcast and regular podcasts. Okay, so this is uh this is the is this it? Oh no, not yet, not that, not yet. Okay, so this is the video, the first videos that I that I shot for for the episode supposedly, or well, I haven't talked to him at this point yet. These are just shots that I took, and I had my USB microphone with me back then, which is this. Okay, so this is a USB microphone that you can attach directly to your iPhone, and I had that on while recording this video, but it was on mute, so I missed all of the talks in these early parts, and it was I think I spent more than 10 minutes with the mute button pressed, and it's good that I noticed it eventually, because if I didn't, then there would be no episode. Okay, so when I saw uh, James here, he has this or had the setup. He's always recording his drawings. That's what he said in the interview later on, and yeah, he had fans surrounding him in the table outside the DC Superheroes Cafe in Mega Mall, where this was held, and he was sketching already. I was kind of late. I probably came a few sketches after after he started, and it's good that I got to catch a few more, and he was just the best. He's uh he's very accommodating, very nice, and I didn't feel any well, he was just really accommodating, and made me feel like we've been friends for a long time. He calls his fans his best friends. Okay, so and I think he really means it. Very genuine guy, and it would have been awesome to have him live here in the studio, but it is what it is. One day it's gonna happen, and we actually talked about having a Skype podcast, or maybe not Skype, whatever, whatever it is that we could use to have him on the show via an online call, whatever. Yeah, he was saying and telling stories about cool stuff. Actually, I could not remember, but he was saying he was telling stories about signing, and I was asking some of the some questions, some usual opening questions for an interview, and yeah, he was responding while drawing and while people are surrounding him like this, and you could tell that he's very used to doing this, and yeah, he's also, like I said earlier, he is the box office artist. This is his YouTube channel, the box office artist. One word. Oops. Oh my god. Okay, so Bumblebee just fell. My God, why? All right, so okay, so the box office artist. If you're gonna check it out on YouTube, if you haven't yet, it is one of the most amazing channels there. Um, James is known for these crazy drawings. His most recent is this video. James, please don't copy strike me. And I'm oh ads. Oh my god. Okay, so he just did another huge drawing for Star Wars. This was his first drawing for that was here. It's back in 2017, and he just created this. Well, this is a mural. This is a mural um, of all of the characters in Star Wars, and yeah, it got the attention of Lucasfilm, and I'm just guessing they wanted to commission him again. The first one was not commissioned; it was just in his own volition that he created the Skywalker saga mural, and yeah, now I'm guessing he got commissioned officially for the release of what's the last episode 9, Rise of the Skywalker, since it's gonna be showing in I think tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah, this is his latest masterpiece. And aside from this, he also does other crazy illustrations. I love the most detailed drawing like this one. I think this is one of them. The most detailed drawing ever. That's the series, I think, in parentheses. Of this one is for Galactus, and he just draws the characters in the most detailed possible way. Okay, that's pretty much it. And as you can see, that's as a guy, as an artist who draws in a very detailed manner as well, it's just amazing. And I could tell that he enjoys it as much as I do. Me personally, I call it detail therapy, and yeah, that's what he does. And he also does this collaboration with his son. Um, his son, I don't know which one because he has I think he has 3 boys and a girl, or maybe I'm mistaken. But one of his kids draws a sketch. Of course, it's gonna look like a kid's drawing, right? But then you could see, as an artist, you could see what he's trying to show. So he would see the design of his son, and then draw the same character in his style. And of course, it's gonna be more detailed and professionally done, and given by his background of being a professional concept artist, it always turns out amazing. And it's a fun concept, and yeah, check it out. And also, what else? What else does he do? He's also done the he does I've seen him do live streams while he's drawing, because as you can see in this video, it is already time lapsed, but he does live streams on YouTube, and I would check the live stream, and it's been going for 10 hours already, or even more. And it's it's really cool. And I thought my 6-hour podcast live stream was long, but there he is. He's doing 24-hour live streams for for his YouTube channel, and he spends thousands of hours, and you could just imagine how many lines he has he has done. And right here, he's just accommodating every question that the fans were asking, and you could tell that they're enjoying his company. And even though I was there, I was probably annoying some of the other guests, but hey, I could not let the opportunity pass, as I've said. And yeah, I'm gonna be okay. Let's just talk through this video until I realize that I have the mute button on. And let's see how many minutes more. Okay, just a couple more minutes. And yeah, so James, again, this was in DC Comics Cafe in Mega Mall, and he's just a really nice guy. Um, he's gonna tell you about his background as an artist in the episode. And I was on my part, I'm not really used to having a conversation while recording myself, like the way that I did here, because my mistake was I did not get a camera guy. So next time I'm gonna have somebody with me, or at least plan it prior to going to the event, because this was kind of an impromptu thing. I just saw the post that he's gonna be here on the same day, so I wasn't able to really think about how I should do it. I just thought I need to do it. But next time I'm gonna make sure to have somebody hold the camera for me, so that it will be a better video. And yeah, but overall it was a great I had a great time talking to James, and I learned a lot. There were some insider info that he shared in the episode. And yeah, so that's the part where I messed up. Oh, and well, watching, since I edited the next parts, I was like I always do, even until now. I always cringe when I watch my episodes. For well, on my performance, not on the guests. And yeah, maybe I'd get over it later on in my podcasting career. Wow. And but for now, I still cringe. Okay, so yeah, let's get to the episode. Powerful Comics Man podcast. James Raiz, the box office artist. Check out his YouTube channel, and again, like and share this podcast, this video. And yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I never really. Let's put it this way: the very first time I tried to draw in public, I wasn't really thought it through. It was at San Diego Comic-Con in, I'd say, early 2000s. It's before Comic-Con was what it was today. Like, it wasn't like the way Comic-Con is today, right? And I told my boss, because I wasn't there for the whole weekend, because my sister had a debut that weekend, right? So I was just there for the Thursday and the Friday. I said, okay, at the end of Friday, why don't we do this? For the last couple hours of the show, I'll just do free sketches for everybody. Okay, anybody wants a free sketch, I'll do it. Okay, so we did that. Okay, so I sat at the booth. I had a huge line, long line. Okay, now I never thought, didn't realize how many people there were, and I was very slow at drawing. I was very slow, but I'm here. I'm all taking my time, like this. And then I realized, I don't think I could let all these people, draw. So about half an hour left, I told my boss, okay, cut the line, because I can't do all these people drawing. And of course, naturally, they're upset. They were in line for already an hour and a half, for a free sketch, and and I couldn't do it anymore, right? And then I couldn't finish everyone that was in that line that was left, right. So there were some that didn't get, so they were standing there for 2 hours, even didn't get a free sketch. So I learned from that. I said, okay, now I have to time myself. I have to make a list, so that people who are expecting a sketch, they'll get their sketch. All right. So it took a while. Let's just say it took a while. But then after that, I didn't really do conventions until recently, until I think 2015. And then I started doing them again. But then having a timer like this is actually normal now for me. They'll actually see me at cons and I'll have a timer, because I'll have so many people wanting drawings, and there's just no way I could be able to finish them if I didn't have a timer. All right, because so that helps.
So 15 minutes is your standard?
Well, it is for today. It depends on the piece, because at cons sometimes I have different price lists for, like, I don't have time to do a full body here. If I did a full body commission here, I would give it 2 hours. Headshots like this, usually I would give it between 20 and 30 minutes, usually. But because of the because of the time constraints, and I'm actually charging here less than I would if I was at Comic-Con. So it all depends on how much I charge too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people would say, "What can you do for me for this amount?" And if it's a lower amount, they'll say, "Okay, I can do a drawing, but it'll have to be a lot quicker, right? It would be at the very, very, very fast drawing." So, I want to make sure they get what they what they pay for in that sense. Yes. So, 4 minutes, huh? 4 minutes. So it all depends. It all depends what it is. So that's when I do a lot of black, because it's fast. So you pick up tricks here and there to speed up the process.
Have you watched other artists do live sketches?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Which ones are your favorites?
Are my favorites the ones that do live sketches? Let me think about that.
In conventions, are at least the ones that really impressed you?
The ones that really impressed me, because also depends on what they order and all that stuff, right? Like the colored sketches, like Mark Brooks has amazing commissions whenever, but then he just does like one a day, from what I understand, because he fully renders them with marker and all that, so it's like a full painting. But it's gorgeous work, right? Kenneth Rockefort does really, really great live work as well. They all do really good work. I don't want to single any there. My friend Alex Milne, when it comes to Transformers work, he does really great fast sketches in terms of that. So But you know, it takes time. The more you do it, the better you get at it, right? Or the more comfortable you get at least. So it took me a while to be able to draw and talk at the same time, right? Because I would either just draw or I would just talk, right? Because I like to talk with my hands. So I'm like, hey, why not talk like this? Yeah.
I've seen Alex Nino do live sketches.
Oh yes, yes,
Amazing.
yes. It's really nice, right? Yes, yes.
It's mesmerizing how
Yes.
those kinds of artists would.
Oh yes,
would
for
do it.
for sure. Yes. But then you get the artists who kind of rip people off too. At the same time, I've seen people charge obscene amounts of money for like this, right? And people would pay it. I'm like, okay. No mentioning names. How much time do we got? I got 1 minute. Okay, I might go a little bit longer here. I want to go a little bit longer. Okay. Sandali pa. Yeah. I'll give him another 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That's all I need. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Overtime. Overtime.
Filipino time.
Filipino time.
How often do you come back here?
It depends. Like last time I was here was actually 5 years ago, right? So I've been to the Philippines about 4 times. I actually did get an invite to come back in November, but I can't because of my scheduling wise, and the project I'm working on, right? So I just can't. If any of you will be in Indonesia, I'll be in Indonesia in when is that? In October. I'll be in Indonesia in October. Ah! Overtime. 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes lang. Where's my 8? I'll talk to you guys after 3 minutes. I just want to clean this up because it feels messy to me. They need to clean it up. How much time I got? 1 minute? Let's see if I can do this in 1 minute. Hold up. Oh, I'm quick. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, I'll just finish this black one. Long time? Oh, I was looking. Oh, no. Yay, okay. Okay. Hold on, I just need to write here. Hold on, I have to write to my friend Toto. Toto! Toto. Two. I'm assuming this is spelled correctly, but I'm just finding out.
Oh, that's no.
Okay. All right. Who's this?
It's not.
Oh, is it Joyce? Is that okay? Is that okay? Yeah. Sorry, I could have spent more time. You think you like it? You think you like it? Yeah, yes, okay. Okay, picture the line. Protruding nipples. Okay, you got it.
That's not welcome.
You got it. That's not welcome.
No nipples, not balcony.
An ordinary Batman.
They all look the same. Big nipples.
So you get all sorts of requests here.
Ayun. Oh, of course. Okay, we'll just do that. Okay. Put my timer on. Oh no.
Mr. James.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying with me the whole time. We appreciate it. Yeah, yes. Okay, we'll do. Okay. Thanks a lot, huh? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this nipple Batman here. It's time for nipple Batman. Okay. Here we go. Start that clock. With nipper Batman. Okay. It's interesting the eyes in the Batman here. It's
So which one's your favorite Batman?
my favorite Batman. I actually like the Ben Affleck Batman. Yeah, I can relate to him. I don't know. I like him. Like, of course, everyone likes the Christian Bale Batman. I love the Michael Keaton Batman. I always thought the Michael Keaton would play a great Bruce Wayne for a Batman Beyond type movie. I think he would be great for that, right? You know what? I even like Val Kilmer as Batman. To be honest, I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was fun. I was young.
How about George Clooney?
George Clooney. Yeah. Well, you weren't really thinking about George Clooney in that movie. That was fun, Batman.
He's Louis Vuitton Batman.
Louis Vuitton Batman. That's what they call it.
Who's the best Joker for you, sir?
The best Joker. Oh. Well, I'll tell you that Joker movie coming up. That's looking really good, right?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Joker movie coming up. And they say it's not going to be related to the comics somehow, right? That's what they say, or it's not based on any, I know, comics history. Apparently, yeah, that's what they're saying. So, but I don't. Well, of course, you got to go with the Heath Ledger Joker. You have to, right? At this point here, you know, I think Jack Nicholson was a really good Joker, but pretty over the top, right? At the same time, I think Jared Leto was trying to do like all the Jokers combined at once, including the Cesar Romero Joker at the same time. Like he was trying to do all of them. And I would have liked to see what else they would have done with him. Right? He wasn't in there enough for me in Suicide Squad. So. But standard answer. Standard answer. I think you got to go with Jared. Not Jared Leto. You have to go with.
You think the DCU needs to reboot or?
well, I think they're doing a good job with these standalone type movies. I think one step at a time. Make singular good movies first, and then we can talk about doing a Justice League again, right?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how that Robert Pattinson Batman works out, right?
Yeah.
Because he's been a good actor too in his indie movies, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm really interested to see how he would do at the same time, right?
But do you think they need to continue with the storyline that they did?
Well, that's the interesting thing. How they gonna, if they're gonna keep Aquaman and Wonder Woman, how they're gonna keep the how they gonna keep the ball rolling with those actors, because they're not gonna recast those guys because they're making too much money right now, right? So it's gonna be very interesting to see how they pull that off, and especially with the Flash movie, like it's always on again, off again. It's so it's like interesting times at DC. So. Val Kilmer has big lips, eh? Yeah. Oh, does he have a? No, good. Not his first.
How do you pronounce your last name again?
It's
Raiz?
supposed to be Raiz. It's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was younger, in grade 2, my grade 2 teacher, she goes to me, "How do you pronounce your last name?" I said, "Oh, Raiz." She goes, "Raiz?" I said, "Raiz." She goes, "Rats?" I said, "Raiz is fine." Okay. Let's just stick with the Raiz, okay?
Rats.
So there it's stuck. That's my white name. my puti name.
James
Yeah.
Raiz.
James Raiz. It's only 2 syllables. James Raiz. I can say it faster.
You don't get it anywhere. You don't get it anywhere.
Lazy moment that you draw.
Sorry, which one?
You have the lazy moment.
A lazy moment when I draw? Oh, all the time. You draw for 12 hours a day. There's always times that you don't want to draw. There are times like that, and usually that's when you've been drawing the same thing again and again and again, and then you're just trying to ways to get through it. I mean, that's why I know like some artists I know, they what they like to do whenever they're starting an issue, they start with the big fun splash pages first, right? Because they know they're going to put as much effort into those. They know their energy's high, so they're going to do really well with the big reveal pages or the splash pages, all of that, right? And they leave all the the miscellaneous pages for the end, because that's when they do 10 pages a week or whatever, to catch up with the deadline. And that way, those pages didn't matter too much if they're not that good, right? So as long as the good pages, they're okay. Then that's what they do. That's what they do next. So.
How do you deal with bad drawing days?
Bad drawing days? Depends on the deadline, really. Sometimes you get through it, But I'll admit, like especially working for myself now and doing my own thing, there are days where I just sit there and I just look like this, right? Because it's my job, right? It's my business. I can do that and not get in trouble. But I'll sit there and I'm like, I don't want to do this work. So it happens that day, and it's just like writer's block. It's just
Yeah.
It's just trying to. I wish there was a set way where you could say that, do this and you'll get out of that funk, because it's not really like Doug Chang. He's one of the main designers for Star Wars. He designed most of these guys here. He said what he likes to do is he just likes to power through bad drawings. And he said eventually a good drawing will eventually pop up, right? So he'll just keep drawing, right? Even if he hates it, like if he hates it, hate drawing, he'll keep going. He'll keep going until something comes out, right?
So you just don't give up on a
Yeah,
drawing?
exactly. Or just do drawings that aren't part of it, right? Just keep drawing something else, you know what I mean? So that it'll work out that way. So.
Do you get frustrated every time, or sometimes when you don't like what you draw?
Oh yes, all the time. That's every day. But then again, if you have a deadline, nothing you can do about that, right? You kind of have to make it work.
But do you give yourself deadlines?
I personally do, because it helps me finish earlier. But to be honest, like sometimes I overload myself with work as well, right? So I'll have a few projects on the go, and that overall makes me a little bit more efficient than I don't know. Then if I just had one, I was just lax on it. I'll take my time.
How many drawings can you finish in a week?
It depends what it is. It depends what it is, right? So I try, to get between 8 and 12 hours of drawing done a day if I can, wherever I am, right? So I'll just try to find a way.
8 hours?
Yeah,
Drawing time a day?
yeah. If I can, like it's harder. Of course, it's harder on vacation here, but when I'm at home, that's why. And the way I could tell is this. This is the way I could tell, right? So this helps. That's why I like to keep it on even when I go to the bathroom. So it's part of the 8 hours, right?
Yeah, I saw a stream.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-hour stream.
Yes.
So you record every time you draw. You record it.
Yes, I do. Yes. So it helps. So when I tell people, for example, when I did the first Star Wars, I say it took 450 hours. How I came up with that number. That's the number of this. Okay, so that's how I just didn't make it up, right? So if you look at the timeline on my premiere, that's how many hours.
Was it live stream? The entire.
It wasn't live stream, but I had to film everything because I wanted to make time-lapse videos of everything at the same time, right? So, same thing when I did that Infinity War mural last year. I took on the thing. It said 250 hours. Again, that's all this, right? So, yeah. So that doesn't really take into account like the planning and all those little miscellaneous things that comes with it, but I want to be accurate when I say I don't want to just pull a number out and say, oh, I worked on it this long, right? Is my timer on? It'd be funny if it wasn't on. Okay, I got 2 minutes. Lots of time.
Do you skip meal when you're doing artistic favor?
Sorry?
Do you skip meals?
Do I skip meals?
Yes.
Depends on how into it I am. You can. if you really enjoy something, sometimes you forget the time. Really, right? Really,
Yeah, it happens.
really. Like if I really enjoy the drawing, I could sit here and then next thing I know, already it's 5 hours later. I had no idea.
Yes, or
I have no idea.
The
So-
mall is ready.
Exactly. No, that's happened. That's happened. Actually, recently that's happened. I was doing sketches at this. It was like a fair. I was doing sketches at, and then I had a line of kids, and we're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do all these drawings for all of you. Let's write your name down. You walk around and come back, and I'll have your drawing ready. And right when I said that, the lady came and goes, okay, fair is closed. Right? And I was like, oh, sorry, everybody. I thought I still had time. I was ready to keep going, right? At the same time, right? So that's no.
When doing your Star Wars, did it come a time where you wanna just give up?
No, because see, there was the good things and bad things about that, right? I had when I did this, when I did the Star Wars, originally I literally gave myself a year, right, to do that. I said, okay, I'll work right up to what was it? What was coming out of the end? The Last Jedi. I was gonna work out right up to there to get it done, right? And then my friend Apple, he owns the Alamo City Comic Con in Texas. A good friend of mine, he said to me, James, why don't you bring it here to Alamo City Comic Con, right? I'll have this whole set for you, ready. You can display it here. And I'm like, okay, that's great, because I knew I wouldn't get an opportunity like that at other cons. So I said, let's do that, right? So I'm like, that's in end of October. Good time. Still good time, right? So I worked on my piece for about a month. And then he calls me up and he goes, hey, James, you know how he said October? How do you feel about May? I decided to push it up. And then I knew if I didn't go to that con, I wouldn't have the space and I wouldn't have like the backing that he was going to give me. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I give it a try, right? So I had that deadline in the back of my head. So even if I was tired, I'm like, I only have this amount of time. Same with it's nipple time. It's nipple time. Hold on. Stop the story. 20 seconds for nipples. Look at this. Look at that. It's nipple time. Oh, yun. I think I made it bigger than the actual.
He's breastfeeding.
Oh boy, look at that. Okay, hold on. I'm making extra time for nipples. There's something that deserves extra time. Ayun.
Without it, it's not about
Yeah, yes. But deadlines really help. Deadlines really help you, stay on time with everything. Again, that's why I put a timer on. When I did that Infinity War piece last year, literally they only gave me 5 weeks to do it. Right now, I could have told them I have to draw less, but I knew at the same time Disney was hiring me because of that Star Wars piece. So I was like, and I don't know when I'm going to get this opportunity again. So that's what I said. Okay, even though I only have 5 weeks, I still want to draw every single movie. Won't be as detailed as the Star Wars, but I'm going to do what I can in the 5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And without that deadline, I don't think I could have got that much work done if I didn't have that type of deadline attached to it. So I don't know.
But the Star Wars is larger than the.
Oh, way larger. Way larger.
Sobra.
Though I might be working on something larger than that. Never mind. No. Sorry.
You don't want
So,
to
yeah,
get any trouble.
I wonder
You're
why.
getting sick, bro? Get a little dengue? I got no place for my signature. Can I sign it in the nipples? Hold on, I just want to add a little bit more to the face here because I kind of neglected the face a little bit. Hold on. Ayun. I literally have nowhere to sign. Okay, hold on. Sandali pa. Let me do this then. Actually, I'll sign here. Let that dry for a second. Let that dry. Is that okay? Is that okay?
I love it.
Is that okay?
I
You
love
like
it,
it?
James.
All
I
right.
love it. I love it so much.
You love that?
Yeah. It is, Gilmer.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. You got that? Okay.
Thank
picture.
you.
Okay,
Thank
can we
you
just
so
take a quick
much.
picture with our... Is our crew gone? Okay. Okay. So let him in. I'm gonna... What's next? Picture. A picture line. Picture line. Okay. There you go. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'm here with the box office artist.
Hello.
James Raiz.
Hello.
Here at DC Superheroes Cafe in Mega Mall.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hanging out. Kapal ng mukha ko nandito, tabi niya.
We're hanging.
There used to be a lot of people around. I got some videos. Although the first video I got, nakamute yung mic. It was on mute.
Oh boy, yes.
man.
Thank you for lasting that traffic. That was a lot of traffic. Yeah.
So James has done four sketches since I arrived,
Yes.
and this is the how many? This is the fifth? Sixth?
I don't.
Oh no, seven.
I wasn't thinking of it. It's a fifth.
Ah,
Is it
fifth?
fifth? Okay, fifth. You can tell them it's the 10th. They wouldn't. I made her neck too big. Yeah, but I do like doing comic book covers because they're I don't know, they're smaller. They're a little bit smaller, so I could get more detail on them. So yeah.
I'm streaming drawing too.
Oh yes.
right now.
Oh, you do, right?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, but well, I used to do that before, but I kind of stopped.
Oh, right
And
on.
then well, I don't know. It's I wasn't consistent
Right,
with that. I was more focused on the podcast,
Oh yeah.
and then because I invite different kinds of people, not just artists, illustrators. I also invite musicians.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so
that's great.
sometimes there are episodes where I have musicians play live.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, but I also
You want me
have
to sing on your podcast?
sure.
you're gonna lose viewers, yeah.
but I'm also doing drawing companions.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
right on.
Mika Sawayan did live sketches on
Alright.
on the podcast.
Oh, right on, for sure. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
They were just having a signing yesterday, I think. Oh, the other day, rather.
The guys. I don't know.
With Lainey
Li-
and
yeah,
Carlo
and,
Pagulayan.
Yes, Carlo. Yes. I was hoping to go, but we had family plans that particular day, so that's okay. They don't need me there. They got their fans. Yeah. So how long you been doing the podcast for now?
It's more than a year.
More than a year now, yeah. It's
I mean,
going well, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's going well, right?
It could do better, but
It always
yeah.
could do better. It always could do
yeah.
better.
Well, the Filipinos aren't that into podcasting
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Especially the kind that I do, where it's a little more serious. There's a lot of goofy moments as well,
Oh,
but
right. It's
but if you listen to it, it's a lot more serious than the usual
Right.
videos that you would see from Pinoy content creators.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very. I know what you mean. Let's just
And it's also long. It's so long.
long form.
Yeah, it's long form.
Well, me personally, like as an artist, like I prefer having long form content.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm drawing, because being an artist, you're at the drawing table a long time.
Yeah.
So having something that's long form, it really helps in terms of I don't know. Because sometimes I listen to podcasts just to what's it called
While working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To kind of actually take my mind off working, right?
Yeah.
Especially when I'm doing the inking. For me, it's like my mind wanders whenever I'm inking. Mainly because the structure's there, I don't have to think too much when I'm inking. So that's why I like having podcasts. I don't have to think about the work. I just like to be entertained a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while you're working, you're also learning a lot.
Yes,
right?
yes,
So-
that's right. That's right. Double purpose for sure. But I can't. For me personally, I can't watch television.
Yeah.
When
same.
I'm working, because then I'm weird.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you got like that.
That's
Podcast alone, it's in your ear, right? So you're just hearing.
Especially anime because there are
Yes,
subtitles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta read. And the dub version's no good, right? The dubs aren't good.
Hey, sit down, man. Get a
Relax,
chair.
relax. Relax.
So that's why I got hooked into podcasting.
Yes.
So I always draw. I do storyboards most of the time.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
And you know how artists are.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
And besides, if you're not looking at the movie, you're just listening.
Right.
I feel like you're doing a disservice to the people who work on the movie.
Right. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I even try. No, I just need the. Okay, I just need the timer. So because sometimes even I know. I even tried doing movies that I've watched a lot, playing that in the background, but then I want to watch.
Yeah.
If it's a good movie, I gotta
Yeah.
watch. You know?
I got into podcasting because I've exhausted my playlist.
Oh yeah.
So I've been
gotta
listening to
go.
the same music over and over again for
Yes,
almost
yes.
a year.
Right on,
And
yeah.
then- so
That's right.
is there anything else?
Yeah.
And then I discovered podcasting.
Yes. No, that's great. That's great.
I saw you invite other artists as well, right?
Sometimes, so like I'll collab with these days it's just collaborations. Not like before I used to do artist interviews on my channel. Which I'd go to a fan expo and I'd go ahead and interview some of the artists there. But I don't know. When I interview them, really it's more for selfish reasons. Like it's more for me because I'm trying to figure out myself. So I would only ask questions that I'm trying to learn from. Like when I was talking to Jim's up, right? Yeah, Jim Zimovich, yeah. Like I was interested, how do you pitch comics to Image, or how do you get your self-published work published, right? So that's what I dwelled more in, something I could personally learn from, right? At the same time, right? Same like that. Same when I interviewed Jason Fabok. Or Fabok. He told me how to pronounce his name. I told me. But because for me, it's been a long time since I worked at Marvel or DC, right? So what the grind's like today. But I'm talking to him. It's pretty much the same thing.
What were the books that you worked on when you were?
Oh, when I was in comics, and again, mostly known for my Transformers work. If there's anything I've been a long run on, it's mostly Transformers. So my first job was my first penciling gig was Transformers Armada #1, and then in terms of Marvel DC, I worked on a title called Hulk Destruction for Marvel. That was my very first official Marvel work. So Hulk Destruction. I did. It was more like a filler. Like I did like half the issue. Jim Munitz, I think that's his name. He did the other half. So I did 3 issues of that. I did an issue of Captain Universe, Invisible Woman, and I did a run on Death's Head at the time. Then it was called Amazing Fantasy, but it was featuring Death's Head. And then.
How many years did you work for
Marvel?
on comics?
In comics, 6 years. 6 years in total. Yeah. 6 years full time anyway. It was and around 2006, that's when I decided to go back to school. To take animation. I went back to school.
Nice.
There's a lot of the old. I was at a studio. It was called Dreamwave, and we were all young. Like literally, everyone in this office was between 18 to 25. Our boss,
Wow.
our boss was 25. Pat Lee was 25 at that time. Pat Lee, he was, he used to work for Rob Liefeld back then. He was at first he was like a Stephen Platt clone, and then he was the first one to kind of bring an anime type style to American comics, and that kind of hit. Right? He had this title called Dark Minds that really hit back in the 90s or late 90s, right? So that was his claim to fame, and he built a pretty big studio from that, right?
Wow.
And then he got the Transformers license. So he said to me, James, you could draw cars, because I was his main background artist at the time. I could draw cars. Why don't I try drawing Transformers? So I helped them with a pitch. I drew a 3-page sample that they pitched to Hasbro.
So you had to pitch.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you get the job.
Well, at this day it was, because what happened was back then there was a magazine called Wizard Magazine. I'm not sure if you remember Wizard Magazine. They did this feature on 80s properties and the artists we'd like to see work on it. And for Transformers, they wanted Pat Lee to work on it, right? So Pat Lee did this drawing of Transformers, and that went pretty viral at the time. Well, as viral as you can be without the internet, without social media, right? So people were clamoring to see Pat Lee do an actual Transformers book, right? So, but we did have to pitch to Hasbro that we could actually pull it off at the same time. So we included those pieces. Pat did a few pieces, and then I did a 3-pager with my one of my writer friends, and that solidified the license for it, right? So that was another reason why he suggested that I took the second title, Transformers Armada. So that was based off the toy line.
So they didn't have a script for you to work on for the samples?
No.
You created your own script?
No. My friend Chris, he actually made the sample, or he actually wrote it for me.
No.
Okay, so that was the one that I followed.
But your friend works in the same studio as you
Yeah,
did?
yes.
Oh.
So he became the writer actually for that,
okay.
and he was also the writer on Pat's book as well, right? So he was the go-to writer guy at the time. So yeah, and that was my first book. Came out in I believe April 2002. Back then, #1 selling book, because
Wow.
Pat's book came out and it was received really well. So they were clamoring for the second book, which was my book.
Really?
So, yeah. So that was the
Like how
number-
many units sold?
I think at that time it was about we weren't in the million. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 400,000 issues, copies.
Wow, that's
At that time, that was a lot. That was
Yeah.
a lot at that time. Huh? Just leave it here. Okay.
that was before the Transformers movie, right?
Yes.
That was
Way before the
before.
Transformers movie. Huh? You could use it. That was before the Transformers movie, and then the funny thing is, you could actually see in the first Transformers movie that they did use a lot of our comics as references, right? Like the way they designed hands and stuff like that.
Really?
Was the way we all did hands. Actually, one of the characters in the Transformers movie, it was named after one of the artists.
Which one?
Figueroa. His name was Figueroa. They called him Figueroa. It was named after a Filipino too, Don Figueroa. He's a Filipino guy. And he's also known for his trade. We often get confused because we actually look very similar too. I have a very similar face too at the same time. So the two Filipino guys, the Transformers artists. Already? Because I'm talking. But that's okay. We have time. I don't have that much more to do. So yeah, that was the first book I did, and then Dreamwave eventually folded, and then when they did, a lot of the artists in there, they all went back to school. So that's what made me think about possibly going back to school. A lot of them went back to school to do video games, right? So.
Oh yeah.
So I was actually Jim Zub, he runs a video game program at a university. So I actually talked to him first, Jim Zub. I almost took his program, but then I realized I don't play video games. So I was like, well, what else can I do? So I took a general like animation course because there I could learn not just if I wanted to go in video games I could, but
Which
also
school? Which school
it was
is
called
this?
Sheridan College, it's in Canada, and that particular program does have a little bit of notoriety to it, but it was overall like a general 3D visual effects type program, right? So I learned how to model in 3D. There's a program called Maya. That's what I learned, and then so it was a 1-year program. After that, I got my very first job at MGM.
MGM?
Yeah,
Wow.
at MGM, and I worked on a show called Stargate. I'm not sure if you've heard of that show.
Wow, Stargate?
Yes, Stargate. They were working on Atlantis at the time. I was working on the direct-to-DVD movies.
Stargate, the TV series.
Yes, the TV series.
Yeah.
Yes, with MacGyver.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember MacGyver?
SGD.
Yes, SG1. Yes, but they were filming Atlantis at the time. So the one good thing about that job, usually this doesn't happen with visual effects companies. That job, I actually got to work on the set. Well, we were in a little brick building behind the set, right? but there was about 13 of us working in there.
What were you doing? You doing concept art? Or?
No. Well, I did do concept art, and that's one of the reasons why they actually hired me, was because they knew I could draw. But also to make models. So I made ship models, textured them as well. I designed ships.
3D, 3D.
In 3D,
okay,
yes,
see.
in 3D, yes.
Okay, see.
So, and there were times when my friend was a big Stargate fan, right? So I was like, hey, James, let's go sneak on the set, right? So we would sneak onto the set, and we'd stay there for about 10 minutes, and I'm like, this is boring. On the set, there's a lot of waiting around. People are waiting, they're setting up shots, and it's like, it's really boring. We're like, let's go back to the studio. Let's that right there.
Really? There's no action in the set?
No, not really. No.
Really?
Well, that's why a lot of the time the actors themselves, they just stay in their trailer till it's time for them to go onto the set, right? So we're like, oh yeah.
What does a set look like?
A lot of cardboard. A lot of.
So it's just
Especially a set
it
like
looks like a
that.
warehouse? Or something
Yeah,
like that?
definitely a warehouse and a set like SG1. Like it's fun. Stargate. It's fun to see the actual Stargate. So we we do take pictures on that. But things like the doors, like they look high tech, but you go around, you see like these pieces of wood, and people are pushing the doors, close and open, right? And, so you ruin the movie magic. That's the movie magic stuff you don't see. Because you're there and you see how fake everything is, right? It really, it really takes you out of it.
Lots of green screen.
For a while, yes.
Okay.
So,
Well, it's also
So that's
Stargate, lots of visual effects.
yes. Oh, yes.
CGI
Yes,
heavy,
yes, for sure. Yes, absolutely.
So,
very, very CG heavy at that time. And that was fun thing about that time. So, we actually, because it's actually a smaller production, right? So, we were actually invited to the end of the year party. So that was actually my first time that I actually started drawing these bigger murals, because there's this part of visual effects where I'm trying to see what it looks like, the model looks like moving. To do so, there's something called caching, where the computer kind of renders out this short little thing. It takes time, so I would press cache, and I'd be waiting there for a good maybe 10-15 minutes, right? And I can't do anything. So I have friends who have books. They would read books while they're waiting for those caches so they could see how their work looks. So what I decided to do was I decided to make a drawing. So I had, yes, here's my friend. How are you? You're back.
Now for real, I'm going because I ran here. And
Yes.
then it's my school day tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
I leave at 5:20.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you gotta wake up early,
Thank
right?
you, and before I go, I'd like to say I like how you evolved from a bonnet to a hat.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, there you go. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you.
From bonnet to hat.
Yeah.
Bonnet, right?
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Thank you. It's not that cold here. I don't need it.
Early morning.
So that's why.
Yeah,
So the
that's
bonnet
why.
is because.
Yeah, it's
okay,
cold.
I
Yes.
see.
Also, I'm trying to hide my white
Being-
hair. Yeah, I am. But so anyway, what
But
I
nice
did,
merch, huh?
Oh yes, nice merch. This is new. I got this at Divisoria.
Really?
Yes. My wife made this when she went there. Yeah.
You should.
It's already cleaner.
You should
Yes,
have.
yes, that's what I heard. Yes.
You should order more and then sell it there.
Oh yeah. I should. We should have sold these here. yeah.
If we had much prep time.
We had much prep time. Yes, very last minute lang.
Not 2 days.
Not 2 days prep, 2 day prep time. I'll warn you next time. Next time I come into town. Yes.
Is this really planned in your? Is this in your?
No. I was just, it was just like when I was talking to him on Monday. We're like, oh yeah, I was thinking about doing a, I don't know, meet and greet, but whatever. And he goes, you wanna do it? I'm like, okay, sure, why not? Yeah, sorry.
Is it because of your video? You just talked to him.
Yeah, well, I was talking to him first, and then we were talking about it. He said it's possible if I want to do it. He told me, and so that's why I made the first video to see what the interest would be, if anyone would show up. And I said to myself, if 5 people show up, I'll do it, right? And it seemed like we had more than 5. Yeah, right. We had a little bit more than 5 come, but that's okay. So I'm like, okay, let's do it.
The first problem was whether to do it in MOA, here or in Centris.
Yes.
So we had a poll whether they want it here or they want it in MOA.
Well, actually, we were even thinking about doing it closer to us.
Yeah, Centris would be.
Centris, yeah. Which is great. That's a great place, right?
Yeah.
It's a fun place. I know. But yeah, it was really last minute not coming together.
So how's your Philippine visit?
It was fun.
So far.
It was fun. I the first couple weeks I was in Rosales because my family's from Pangasinan.
Okay.
Yeah. So we usually stay there. My parents-in-law, they own a home there. So whenever I come to the Philippines, we usually stay about a week there.
Okay.
Not much to do
It's
there.
your wife's.
Not much to do there.
It's your wife's hometown.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
How about you? Which is your hometown?
My mom and dad are from Isabela.
Oh.
My dad's from Isabela. My mom's from Pangasinan too. Yeah. So, but I usually don't see my family as much here. So yeah, we usually just stay with her family whenever I'm here. But this is my 4th time in the Philippines. Fourth.
So, were you born and raised in Canada?
Yes, I was. Yes. Toronto, Canada. I was born there. My parents immigrated there in the 70s.
Okay, I see.
Yes. So so my wife's here. She's the. I stopped that. Yeah, I stopped that. Yeah. It's my wife's the translator. You know.
That's cool.
Because my wife can speak. She can speak Ilocano. Tagalog, of course, right? So it's easier. Right? Is this for you?
Yeah.
This for you? Looks okay? Is it okay? Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll just wait for
Is
this
that okay?
one. Yeah.
That's okay? That's okay. This is yours too?
Yeah, just for my friend.
Oh, okay, cool.
Black cat.
And which one was this one again? This was
Black Cat.
You want me to draw Black Cat?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I've never drawn Black Cat before. This is gonna be exciting.
This one.
Cat. Ayun. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Hold on, I gotta look at this for a while.
Animated version.
Oops, sorry. Oh, there you go. So you get the feathers there and the What were we talking about again? I totally forgot. Oh, I didn't finish my Star Wars. You did? Oh, I don't know. Ask my wife. Cake, ask my wife. So I didn't finish my Stargate story. So I did this piece, right, while I was waiting for the caches. I did this piece where I drew all the characters from Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis in this one big piece, like that, right? So that was one of the first catalysts for my YouTube channel, actually, because I really like doing that kind of art. And then at the crew party, so we were invited to the crew party. I brought the artwork with me at the crew party, and I felt like such a nerd. I was like a nerd going around. Oh, Can you sign my drawing? Can you sign my drawing? The only one.
Who were the source? Who were the source?
Well, the one you'd recognize the most, Jason Momoa was there. 'Cause he
Oh,
was on,
really?
he was-
Wow.
But he was at the bar, right? And I came over and he said, "Hi, Jason, can you sign my drawing?" He goes, "Dude,
Just one minute.
I can't stand up." He's like, he was so drunk. I just can't stand up, man. Sorry, man.
Jason Momoa?
Yeah. Like, okay, next time. Funny was there was one of the girls there. Her name's Amanda Tapping. She was the main female for SG1. She's like, "Oh, this is great." She had the artwork here like this, right? She's like, "Oh, this is great. You want me to sign it?" And I had this piece here at the bottom where they all sign, and all of them sign there, right? And she's there. "Oh, this is great. This is her. This is great. Okay, I'll sign it." All the artwork over her face, right? I'm like,
Oh man!
"Thanks." So when I scanned it in, I had to digitally remove her signature.
So you haven't scanned it yet?
Yeah, I didn't scan it yet. I didn't scan it
man.
yet. Right? Like, oh, okay. So I had to digitally, but it wasn't that big a deal to do it. But it was just like, okay, you didn't get it right. But that was what got the clock turning when I first started my YouTube channel, because I wanted to. When I first started my channel,
So when did you start your channel?
2013, May 2013. When I first started it, it wasn't necessarily an art channel. I wanted it to be a movie review channel.
Okay.
I wanted to be a movie pundit. I wanted to be, I wanted to get into premieres, and
I see.
I wanted to review movies, right? But of course, starting out, I knew I can't watch movies early, so I said, okay, why don't I preview movies to start off, and then hopefully one day I'll get to see movies early, and then I can do it. So I said, how can I make it different from everybody else? So I knew I could draw. So like, okay, why don't I draw while previewing the movies, and eventually I'll draw while reviewing the movies, and draw a piece while doing that.
Okay.
So that's where the name Box Office Artist came from.
Yeah.
Like the box office, right? So it was more on the line of movies. Not my artwork's artwork's box office. Look at me. No, not at all. It was more because I was trying to show that I'm a movie channel. So people liked the art. They didn't like my reviews. At the same time,
Focus more on the...
yeah, that's when things started to evolve. Well, because I think the first year I only did like 6 videos. If you look back at the timeline.
Really? First year?
Yeah. First year you'll see I only did like 6
the
videos.
timeline now.
Yeah, it's like six or so. So, because I stopped in, I think, in like September, I think, because I went back to work. I went back to work for a little bit, and it wasn't until like the end of beginning of 2015. There's like a Facebook challenge going out where they would say, show 3 pieces of your art and then tag your 3 friends. You have to show the 3 pieces of art for 5 straight days. Tag your friends, and the ones you tag, they have to do the same thing once they get tagged. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So one of my friends, they tagged me.
I never participated in
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'll tag you later. So one of my friends, she tagged me, and I said, because I always wanted to do another YouTube video, but I never had the excuse to. So I said, okay, why don't I make this the excuse to do it? So I went back and I decided, okay, I'll show 2 old pieces, and then I'll draw. Age of Ultron was coming out soon at that time. I said, okay, why don't I draw Age of Ultron pieces, but I'll do it like a character per video. And that's what I did, and the channel got restarted.
Okay.
That's how I got the ball rolling on the channel again. So my first video back, well, it was those Facebook videos, right? But then my first big piece was trying to put together that Age of Ultron piece, right? Yeah. And then I started doing conventions again. I got invited to a convention. Honestly, I never really did conventions. Like I went to San Diego, but at the same time I was with a company, so it wasn't my own table. I was at their booth, but it wasn't my own table. So I never went there to sell my own merchandise or anything like that.
Yeah.
So someone invited me to a con, and then I never realized I could make money at cons, right? So then I started doing more of them. So 2015, I started going out in the con circuit again. So I started making videos then.
Cool.
But then at the same time, I always wanted to try to make art on my own terms and in my own way at that time. So I started teaching. I started teaching at the college, and I was making okay money. I helped develop the program. That's why I still teach there. It's not because I need the money. It's more because I started it off, right? So I want to keep
Paid
going.
forward.
Yes, exactly. So I said to myself, okay, this teaching is okay. I could earn a little bit here, and then why don't I actually give it a try? Because I was 38 at the time, 37, 38, something like that. So I said, okay, I'm going to be turning 40 in a few years. When am I going to do it? When am I going to try doing artwork the way I want to do my artwork?
Yeah.
Right? So I said, okay, I could always come back. I said to myself, I could always come back to visual effects if it doesn't work. So I did have a fallback plan, right? So that's when I decided to quit my job and then start trying to really do YouTube. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I quit.
Really?
Really not the smartest thing in the world before you quit your job, but I knew I wanted to do some sort of art.
You want to achieve something.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I kept going with the channel, and I was trying to develop like some characters and all that stuff. But then that's when I got the idea to do that Star Wars piece because I wanted to pull a stunt. Right, so it was more to do with stunts more than anything else. Yes, I was a Star Wars fan, but I wanted to see what can I do that would get people interested in my channel. Right, so I did a Star Wars piece the year before that. Excuse me. And it went pretty well, and I knew another movie was coming out the next year, so I'm like, okay, why don't I try to do a piece where I draw every single Star Wars character? And
This was 2016, right?
yeah, this was 2016, yes. And then I didn't want, then after thinking about it, a lot of people try to do all the characters. Well, why don't I do all these scenes and make like this big mural? So that's how that all started.
Yeah.
But to be honest, when everything got all finished, yes, I got a lot of traction in terms of Disney noticing me and Lucasfilm noticing my work and all that stuff, inviting me to the Star Wars show, all that stuff, right? It was fantastic. But at the same time, didn't really affect my channel that much. Didn't
Really?
Yeah, no.
Like how many subs did you get from that?
Excuse me. I think when it was all said and done, I was only at like 25,000 subscribers at that time. So not that many. Not that many in terms of where I'm at now, right? So,
yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, it was a lot at the time, right?
No, but it's still 25,000.
Yeah, no, still a lot.
Yeah,
still,
still a
no,
lot.
definitely a lot.
Well, when you're
That's
starting,
still
wow,
people.
it's
That's still
25,000,
people, right? Yeah, exactly. Because I was years before that, I was struggling to get to 1,000. It was so hard, even to get to the 1,000 mark, right? So that took me a while. And again, that's what when I hit the 1,000, I was at work. That's when wheels started turning. About is it possible that I could actually make this like a real career, like just the YouTube itself, right? So that's the part I skipped. Okay. So I know, but I thought, personally, my goals were bigger in terms of maybe I could hit 100,000 with the Star Wars thing. No, it came really close.
I see.
Or at least had the video, the time-lapse video go viral. It did, right? I think it was only stuck at about, for me, it stuck about maybe 15,000 views for a while. It didn't really have a lot of traction to it. Like even guys like Phil DeFranco, he shared the video, right? I got featured on his channel, but didn't really, again, not much traction. Like even after I got my Infinity War game.
It wasn't as big as you thought it would be.
Exactly, in terms of the way it would affect my channel, right? Also, I didn't. Also, because Marvel didn't really share it on their social media as much too. You had to be at the theaters to see the artwork. So, watch out! I'm gonna hit that. So, well, actually, it wasn't until this guy came around, right? When he came home one day with that drawing, right, son? Right, that drawing. He came home with that design. Yes. So I thought it looked really, really cool. I'm like, can I redraw this, right, on my for my channel? And he said, yeah, go for it, right? He said,
I
like,
watched that idea from Thomas Raiz.
yes, Thomas Romain, who does a fantastic job with that as well, right? So, and there's actually a lot of guys on Instagram too. Have you seen the guy who he takes his son scribbles and then he actually his son scribbles an elephant, and then he'll actually put like real elephant textures on it, right? And it looks really funny. You see that guy? That guy's hilarious, right? That's great stuff. That's talent right there. But yeah, Thomas Romain does a fantastic job. So, but that video that I did with my son, that was the first one that actually hit 1 million views. And from that video, that's what actually got me my first 100,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Was and it happened really fast after that video. I got to 100,000 subscribers. And then from there,
What year was that?
that was last year.
Last year.
That was last year, right? So I was already like 4 or 5 years into the game. All right.
I think the first videos that I saw from you were the most detailed.
Yes,
the
yes,
most
yes,
detailed
yes, yes.
Galactus.
Ever
The most,
Yes.
Yun yung mga,
Yes.
those were the first
No,
ones.
because the funny thing about that was because I started that series about a year before that. I think in 2016. Because I'm known for my Transformers work, and I'm also known for my detail work when it comes to Transformers. So I said to myself, okay, why don't I try to do something that nobody else will do, right? Why don't I try to do and I called it my most detailed drawing ever series, right?
Probably.
I think I would go. I think. That's what I would go. Yeah. That would be the I don't know, asterisk. Right? I think it is. It might be. Might not be. Like Takara has a
Until
lot of
proven
it.
otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. Until proven otherwise, right? So I did quite a few Transformers. Where I would never draw these twice. I would never draw these characters again. Once is good enough. I wanted to draw them, but so much detail, I'll never want to see these guys again. That's what I said with that series. So each one of those drawings took about between 15 to 20 hours. Each one of those ones, right?
Wow.
But the first one that went viral was that Galactus one. That was the very first one that actually hit. Because those ones, they only capped at like 5,000 views. Those ones at the time, again, which was good for me at the time, right? But so when I did the Galactus one, I wasn't thinking it would go viral like that, but it did. And then when I was doing that video, a lot of people were commenting there, hey, bet you can't do a most detailed stick, man. They would say that, right? Bet you can't do that, right? And then I thought to myself, can I? So that's where that happened, right? So that went super viral, just out of the novelty, right? They go, what the most detailed stick, man? but that's probably the most common comment I get at cons too. That's why I wanted to do it, because I would draw and people were like, oh man, I can't even draw a stick man. That's what they would say to me, right?
It's very creative.
Yeah.
I see many creative ideas from your channel.
Oh yes, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so-
Yeah.
Look at this. Most detailed. It's something new.
Yes,
You don't see other content creators doing.
Right, exactly. So, that's what I'm trying to do anyway. Try to do things that other creators aren't doing with their channel, and also something that plays to my strengths. Right, that's something I enjoy doing. Right, that's why some of the challenges, some of these other art YouTubers that do, sometimes they just don't interest me. Right, I have no inkling to go buy 1,000-year-old paints and paint with them. Right, I don't feel like it. You know what I mean. It's not really me, right? So I would just be doing it for the views, and it wouldn't be something that I would enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Because actually, that stickman. When it comes to that stickman, I did one before that one. I actually did an earlier one. I never released it, but I did one where I turned it into like a transformer stick, right? I had them all, so you see all the cybernetic parts and all that stuff. And then I turned it. My plan was to turn it into make a movie poster out of it with a big explosion on the back. They go Stickman the movie, directed by Michael Bay. That's what I was gonna write. But then the footage got corrupted.
Oh,
The footage got corrupted.
that sucks.
That's why I never released it. I was like,
man.
oh, Okay.
If you get the chance.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not drawing this again. or I was gonna draw, or I did the other one, the one you guys actually saw. That's what we came up with, right? So I thought it was a fun joke at the end. Ended up being rude at the end of the day, right? So I was like, stick man, get it? Stick man, stick man. So. So yeah, YouTube is a funny thing, because I was talking to some people, giving them advice about YouTube the other day, and it's like, you don't know sometimes.
Yeah.
What's gonna hit? You just don't know. Like that Iron Man one I did, right? The 10-minute, 1 minute, 10-second Iron Man. I had no idea that was gonna go as viral as it did. That was the day I was trying to do a video a day, and I didn't have that much time that day. And I'm like, oh, what can I do fast? Oh, I can do this Iron Man, 10-minute, 1 minute, 10-second. I won't get that many views. That's what I said to myself, right? And the next thing I go, every day, it's like another million, another million, another million. I'm like, what the what's wrong with this video, right?
How many views did it get?
It's at 20 million right now.
Wow.
That's my most viewed video on my channel, 20 million.
Iron Man.
The Iron Man, 10-minute, 1 minute, 10-second. I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, this is not that different from my other videos. Why this particular one? I don't know. So you don't know.
Well, it's also, I think one factor is how fun,
Yes.
how fun when we hear you talk.
Yes.
Parang, we can tell that you're really enjoying it.
Yes,
You're just
yes,
goofing
yes.
around with yourself,
That's true. That is true, right? Yeah. But I'll tell you, it was really hard to replicate because when something hits, you're like, okay, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. And I did like another 10. Nowhere near what the other one did, right? So you're still analyzing. Okay, what was so special about that particular one, right? So
Yeah.
almost.
Well, at least once you establish the subscribers,
Yes.
I think YouTube's system will work.
I'm finding no, actually.
Really?
It depends. It depends on your content, really. I'm actually hitting a little lull right now in terms of my in terms of the views, because also in terms of monetization, those people who want to monetize it's not really the subscribers at all. It's the views of your videos, right? So they don't really care how many subscribers you have. They want to know how many people are actually watching your videos, right?
Yeah.
So there are channels out there. You could have like I know a channel. I won't say who. Maybe I shouldn't because I'm doing work with them. Okay, let's cut it there. But there are channels out there where you find that they have millions of followers, but then they'll only have each of their videos will only have like maybe 10,000 views sometimes, right? But then again, maybe it's the type of content they're putting out. Maybe they're putting out more like 50 videos a day sometimes. But YouTube, at the end of the day, they look at
The watch time.
watch time. They definitely look at watch time. They look at in terms of monetization, watch time counts.
Yeah.
Watch time counts along with the views. They count. But they don't share your video unless there's really, and the real way videos get viral is if the YouTube decides to share your video with everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's how they get viral. And that's how I could tell too, because people were like, "Why did you recommend this video?" They would say, right? They would say that about my video. But for them to recommend it, there's got to be a lot of traction in terms of likes on your videos, on how many people
Likes,
comment
comments.
on your videos, right? So getting people to that's why you'll always see the top YouTubers are saying, "Oh, let me know in the comments down below. Pick which one I should wear. What do you think of this story?" You know that kind of thing, right?
It really affects the algorithm.
Yes,
right?
they do. Yes, they do, and it affects how YouTube actually shares your videos, right?
So they're really tracking the response.
Yes, or the machine is anyway. The machine is. You okay? We're okay.
Okay?
I'm okay. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Are you not hungry?
No, I'm fine. Well, that's because I know there's work to do. So
That's what I'm asking.
there's work to do. Oh, it's 51. Oh, okay, almost done. Lucky this is the last one.
All right.
Okay, let's finish this off.
It's just the white hair. So.
White hair is easy.
Okay, white hair.
yeah. So YouTube is like, it's always a learning thing, right? And you really need to evolve your channel after time. Yeah, I'm even finding 1 year, it changes. Everything changes. What's popular changes.
Yeah.
If you ask last year, it's more, I don't know, more the vloggers. Yeah, you know, the Casey Neistat type style vloggers. They're all out in force. Today, it's everyone's giving away money. Today, right?
Yes.
You got your Mr. Beast. You got your
Yes.
my buddy ZHC. That's all he
Yes.
does now. Give away money all
Really?
the time.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
yeah.
buys the most expensive pen.
Yeah. That was today, right? That was
Yes.
today. Yeah, and he's doing really well. It's working, right? And good for my buddy ZHC. He's not. It's definitely not an overnight success. I was with him. I saw how he works. He works. His name's ZHC. He's a YouTuber like me. I was his mentor in YouTube. And now he's my mentor in YouTube because he's at 2.5 million subscribers now, right? But you see the way his channel has evolved to what it was before, right? Before he was trying to copy me. Now he's trying to copy Mr. Beast. Better guy to copy. Yes, me. But his videos are different now, right? So to stay relevant in YouTube, you really need to evolve your channel. Every year you got to reassess. You got to try to find new things that work.
Okay.
You got to keep up with the trends. Like all of that counts. If that's what your goal is at the same time. Like for me personally, a YouTube is a nice to have, but really I don't know how long it's gonna last at the same time, and so it'd probably be more smarter for me to make sure that the illustration business, my relationship with Marvel, Lucasfilm, that's stronger, right? Than than the YouTube. Even though YouTube could be more lucrative than working for them, at the same time they're a little bit more longer term. At the same time, right? So it's that give and take, right?
Are you gonna be on the Rewind this year?
Well, we'll see.
Is that a goal?
That was a goal. That would have been a fun goal for sure. I don't think this year. I wouldn't be surprised if my friend got on there, but this year. But I even suggested to them, hey, what if? Because I did that 50 YouTuber one recently. I messaged my YouTube contact like, hey, this would be a fun YouTube rewind video. What if we did something like this? Because I did do something with the Streamy Awards last year. Where for those of you who don't know, the Streamy Awards, they're like it's like the YouTube Awards kind of thing, right? Where they reward the best YouTubers. And they Dick Clark Productions. They contacted me. They wanted me to draw the winners. Their whole thing was once they announce the winners, when they come up to the stage, they'll you'll see me drawing them as they walk to the stage.
Wow.
So that's what we did. But the thing was, they weren't allowed to tell me the winners because people voted for the winners. I didn't find out the actual winners till 2 days before the show. Or I think it was the 3 days. It was the Wednesday. The show was on Saturday. So I had about 2.5 days to finish all the drawings for the thing and time lapse and the videos and all that stuff. And they flew myself and my daughter out to California, and that was a lot of fun. And then they gave it as a gift to to all the winners. Yes. Like the comic.
Which method do you use in drawing?
Method?
Which master are you following? Do you use?
Why don't you guess in terms of my style?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy to guess some of my influences.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe not this one. If you look at my other work, what do you
Loomis?
think? Cut James. Who do you think is my my comic book influences in my artwork? Jim Lee, absolutely. Who else?
Martin Lines.
Yeah.
McFarlane.
McFarlane a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of McFarlane. Yeah.
You said Adam Hughes earlier.
Adam Hughes, yes. Also, David Finch is a big one.
Oh.
He influences all of us. David Finch, for sure. Stephen Platt, actually, was a big influence on me. Not in terms of figures too much, but George Perez was a huge influence for me in terms of detail. The way he adds detail to all his work. That I wanted to be the robot George Perez. That's what I wanted to be when I first started. But then it took too long.
One of the there's this Filipino director who came up with a documentary.
Yes.
Parang he was trying to describe what Filipino art is. So he's into comics as well. So naturally he delved into studying the art, comics art, and basically what he concluded is that the common denominator on Filipino art is the detail.
Oh yeah, the detail.
the details.
You know why?
Whatever it
Filipinos,
is.
we work hard. You know.
Yeah.
We work hard.
Yeah, it's very apparent with
right?
your work too. Even though
Yeah.
you're not born and raised here.
Yeah, that's right. That's
It's
right.
in the DNA,
it's in
man.
the blood. It's in the blood. Filipino blood. Ayun. Okay, that's some dugo. Ayun. Thank you very much.
All right.
All
See
right,
that?
let's go take a picture of this.
Awesome.
Quick, black cat. All right, actually, let me just fix one thing here. I don't like this. Better.
Would you mind to sign my?
Of course.
So I have my,
Oh, look at
latest-
you! You're drawing.
Yes, sir, I did.
Ayun,
Yes.
ayun.
I was an aspiring
Yes.
comic artist when I was high school. So doing
Oh,
that
right on.
happy while bored.
All right, so that's the episode. Thanks to James Raiz, the box office artist, for accommodating me and for being really nice. And yeah, I hope we could do the podcast later on. And let's see. Watch out for that. And again, please like and share this video. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the Powerful Comics Man podcast. And the year is almost up, and I have big plans for next year on the podcast. I don't know if I'm gonna have another episode for this year. Maybe a couple more or not. But anyway, since it's gonna be Christmas in a few days. Merry Christmas, and let's see you next year. Good luck to us. Let's take Pinoy podcasting to the next level. And cheers. Okay, Powerful Comics Man